An Extempore by John Keats. When waver come into Faery's court, they ring. No one at home. All gone to sport and dance and kiss and laugh, as Faeries do, for Faries be as human lovers true. Amid the woods they were so lone and wild, where even the robin feels himself exiled, and where the very books, as if afraid, hurry along to some less magic shade. No one at home, the fretful princess cried, and all for nothing such a dreary ride, and all for nothing my new diamond cross, no one to see my Persian feathers toss, no one to see my ape, my dwarf, my fool, or how I pace my Otaheitan mule. Ape, dwarf, and fool, why stand you gaping there? Burst the door open quick, or I declare I'll switch you soundly and in pieces tear. The dwarf began to tremble, and the ape stared at the fool. The fool was all agape. The princess grasped her switch, but just in time the dwarf with piteous face began to rhyme. Almighty princess, did you ne'er hear tell what your poor servants know, but too well? Know you the three great crimes in fairyland? The first, alas, poor dwarf, understand, I made a whipstock of a fairy's wand. The next is snoring in their company. The next, the last, the direst of the three, is making free when we are not at home. I was a prince, a baby prince. My doom you see, I made a whipstock of a wand. My top has henceforth slept in fairyland. He was a prince, the fool, a grown-up prince, but he has never been a king's son since he fell a-snoring at a fairy ball. Your poor ape was a prince, and he poor thing but ape, so pray your highness stay a while. 'Tis sooth indeed we know it to our sorrow, persistent you may be an ape tomorrow. While the dwarf spake, the princess, all for spite, peeled the brown hazel twig to lily white, clenched her small teeth, and held her lips apart, tried to look unconcerned with beating heart. They saw her highness had made up her mind, and quivered like the reeds before wind, and they had it, but to happy chance, the ape for very fear began to dance, and grind, as all his ugliness did ache. She stayed with vixen fingers for his sake, he was so very ugly. Then she took her pocket mirror and began to look, first at herself, and then at him, and then she smiled at her own beauteous face again. Yet for all this, for all her pretty face, she took it in her head to see the place. Women gain little from experience, either in lovers, husbands, or expense. The more their beauty, the more fortune too, beauty before the wide world never knew. So each fair reasons, though it oft miscarries. She thought a pretty face would please the fairies. My darling ape, I won't whip you today. Give me the picklock, sirrah, and coplay. They all three wept, but counsel was as vain as crying cup biddy 2 drops of rain. Yet lingeringly did the sad ape forth draw the picklock from the pocket in his jaw. The princess took it, and dismounting straight, tripped in blue silvered slippers to the gate, and touched the wards. The door full courteously opened. She entered with her servants 3. Again it closed, and there was nothing seen but the mule grazing on the herbage green. The mule, no sooner saw himself alone, when he pricked up his ears, and said, "Well done. At least, unhappy prince, I may be free. No more a princess should sight saddle me. O king of Otaheitan, though a mule, I every inch a king, though fortune's fool. Well done, for by what Mr. Dwarf said, I would not give a sixpence for her head." Even as he spake, he trotted in high glee to the knotty side of an old pollard tree, and rubbed his sides against the mossed bark, till his girths burst and left him naked stark, except his bridle, how get rid of that, buckled and tied with many a twist and play. At last it struck him to pretend to sleep, and when the thievish monkeys down would creep, and filch the unpleasant trembles quite away. No sooner thought of when down he lay, shamed a good snore. The monkey men discended, and whom they thought to injure they befriended. They hung his bride on a topmost bough, and off he went, run, trot, or anyhow.